Before we begin, it's time for good old-fashioned sponsor mentions. For all mentions, please check out packfiller.com first to send you to the right direction. Untapped maple, everybody, by far the fastest, bestest, quickest way to get energy out there. Quick to digest, quick to get into your fuel tank. Pure Vermont maple syrup is its base. The flavors are multiple and the benefits are immediate. Untapped maple. Next off, Goodr sunglasses, quality, style, function, fit, and what did I fit? Fun! All in the most affordable eyewear options out there. You are late. I'm in mid-read, and you are late.
That I'm busy changing lives and saving them, making everybody happier.
Is that root beer?
You showed up with a root beer.
Oh, yeah. So good. Cool shirt.
You won't believe the value that only Goodr offers. I know what you're thinking. Like what? 150? Try $50 or under. I kid you not. Goodr sunglasses are the bomb. And Sam is late.
I'm here.
Scratch Labs. Hydration perfected. All natural, easy on the gut, and drinkable fuel options for the big rides. And you haven't been using Scratch, you're still just dumping massive sugar down your gullet. So let's do this, shall we? Okay. We are 8 minutes late.
Is Peter Sagan racing the Vuelta?
No.
That's exactly what David
That's your
asked.
brother said.
I have no picks.
Yeah. David's out of ideas.
He's penciling him in like he's some sort of a disgruntled voter.
He can still do the write-in portion of it, right?
Yeah, sure, if you want. Okay, you ready for my poem for the night? Well, Paul has made it to Georgia in a most Pauly way. The Vuelta starts in just a few days. Let's all say ole. The fires are slowly being contained. The rain has come at last. It's time to drink a cold one. Enjoy the Pack Filler podcast.
There
That's
you go.
great. Good job. How long have you been down here today?
4 lines. How long have I been down here?
You should look back here.
You're like,
That'll
what
tell you.
time?
You
You're like,
should
what
see
time
the
is
far
it?
end of
pretty
the shop.
crazy
You
back
should
there.
see the far end of the shop. You could eat off the floors down there.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't, but you could. That's right. It's time for Life on Two Wheels. It's time to enter the Rim Break Bar and get you some Fact Filler. I'm Pat Bolger, and as we stated already, the lovable curmudgeon isn't here. He's prepping to dance at the U.S. Masters Nationals, so I guess that means he's the person we will be making fun of this evening. And I wrote that before Sam showed up 6 minutes late, so it's going to be kind of like a tag team.
Thought it was 8.
What's that?
It was 8 minutes.
It was 8 minutes late. Let's see who's here to do just that. Tonight's prologue question for the panel. This one might get a little ugly. If you could eliminate one food so no one could ever eat it again, what food would you destroy? Usually I give Paul a couple seconds to think about it. In the natural pecking order, Sam would be next, so I'm going to give him a couple seconds anyway because I'm nice. Actually, screw you, dude.
No, I know.
He's leading the conspiracy to lower the nose of the world's saddles, Mr. Sam Wapel. How are you, man?
It's only Paul's. It's
Mine
beyond
too.
my understanding.
Mine too.
Totally. Yeah, yours
Mine too.
is. It must be a like 50 and over thing.
It's
that
probably
it?
generational. We just liked, having numb dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like the extra sensation on the front of the saddle.
It's really when the feeling comes back is what you like.
It's
There
all
it
we
is.
got anymore.
Oh my gosh, that's really good.
That was actually brilliant.
Yeah.
I just had to look down out of fear to make sure I was recording. But I'm glad we got that. How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
Yeah? Right?
Bummed that it's been smoky, as I'm sure everyone here is bummed about. But yeah, it's like I'm leaving on Friday for Switzerland, so life's pretty good.
I'm going to ask about that here shortly. I want to know the whole thing. And we would like to know your address so we can just burst into your house while you're gone.
Yeah, you're more than
Because that's
welcome.
what you do. You never tell people you're vacationing because people will rob you.
My mom is so
got a lot
paranoid
of
about
beer.
that.
It's an old person thing.
Yeah, and I'm just
It's
like,
an old person thing.
that's so big. Like, she won't cancel the newspaper because she's concerned that, then they know. I'm like, who's them?
Yeah,
Mom?
but everybody else knows when your newspaper's stacked.
I know. That's why every time you can, like, see that they're gone because there's 5 newspapers on the front porch.
By the way, you know how you've dated yourself right there? You still get the newspaper.
Yeah. You can tell they're 60 and over.
Yeah, exactly. What's the food you would get rid of so no one could ever eat again?
I think, I mean, in a selfish way, is eggplant, 'cause I hate that. Eggplant's
Really?
disgusting.
I never thought you'd pick a vegetable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah, but if I wanted to like make other people's life worse, I'd say like beef. You can't eat cow anymore.
Just to spite people.
Yeah, just to spite you. Like, is,
Screw
I mean,
you.
that's
All
that's
the
my
cows are
personality, right? Like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh well, if I really hate other people, I'd say like beef, because a lot of people love beef.
Yeah.
You know, you can't eat
That'd be
anything
so
beef related.
harsh. That'd be brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd suck.
There we go. Next, he's apparently available to rent out as a Sherpa while his wife is out of town. Mr. David Westples. How are you, man?
That's
Yeah.
me.
Everything I hear is just like, what are you guys doing this weekend? Well, we're going on a wonderful
David's my
vacation.
bitch.
David's going to carry our stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to do, so
Yeah,
You've relegated yourself to trusty sidekick.
yeah, I just
Wow.
sit at home and wait for somebody to give me something to do. Like I said, I just do what I'm told.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nobody, yeah.
It's just like when he's racing a bike. It's
Yeah.
like, start, he goes. Stop, I'm done.
Yeah, I
Wow.
just do what I'm told. So,
Wow. That's
yep.
really sad. What's the food you would destroy to save or spite humanity?
Oh, this has nothing to do with humanity. I would destroy bacon because I
What?
personally don't eat bacon, and it's really hard when you have to smell it because it smells so good. So if I could just take it from everybody else and then I didn't have to smell it, that'd be really convenient. Yeah, because it's hard to not eat bacon.
It is.
Dude, that's evil, though.
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
evil. You just honestly
Fighting humanity.
the
Yeah,
plot-
when I was at the bachelor party and then we were like cooking
Oh.
pancakes and that, and I'm just sitting there and I was like, how long do I have to endure this?
yeah,
the podcast
smells so
is going-
good.
You made bacon.
does.
You guys cooked it.
I know.
We're
That's
givers.
how much we love you.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was for Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just
Holy
next time
shit.
we want bacon, I'll just create some sort of scenario where they have to be
Yeah.
there and they'll cook it for us.
Just
Yeah.
bring
Sure.
nose plugs.
Is it weird that vegan and bacon are kind of closest words?
Yeah.
It's just
Are they close?
I feel like
Why there's
that's a
bacon.
stretch.
syllables.
They both end in the letter N.
Good.
Bacon. If you mumbled it, vegan,
Megan.
vegan. There we go.
I don't even know what you're saying.
I'm right. Next, he's currently taking ideas on how to not go stir crazy out of the oncoming winter, Mr. Jackson Bulger.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm figuring out how to not hate riding inside this year.
You made strides already today.
I did. Yeah. So
Did you ride inside?
well, I did. Yeah, I did.
Good for you.
Because I looked outside and it was
You know what? You know that
gloomy
Paul is listening somewhere, just going, no.
Well, he'll be proud of me because I made the switch today. I went from Zwift because last year I went through a depression and I think Zwift was at the heart. was kind of at the heart of it a little bit.
Fair.
And so I switched from Zwift to System, which is a way better deal.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I really like the videos. They just feel very motivational. It sounds like I'm reading an ad for them.
Yeah, no,
But I'm
that's
not.
fine.
But I really like it.
Wahoo is actually, so you're basically, you're
You are
Yeah.
plugging a
You're
sponsor
doing
for
it.
it. But they
Exactly.
do make a great app.
Yeah. So I'm plus RGT. I'm kind of excited now.
Yeah.
And
I got online today and looked at RGT and how many people were riding it, and like certain courses were like 4.
What is RGT?
2. Real Grand Tours. It's a similar structure to Zwift, but it's offered by Wahoo. And if you subscribe to System, Wahoo is RGT is a part of the program. So you get the original Sufferfest style of training videos. You get yoga, you get strength training, you
Mental
get
health
mental
training.
health training, and
That's
you,
cool.
and you get an online virtual reality platform like through RGT,
That is very cool.
all
which does racing. And
yeah, sorry. Oh,
No.
I was gonna say all for less than what Zwift costs.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, Zwift has gotten expensive.
Yeah.
In Zwift, hopefully they're never a future sponsor because
but I don't think they're going to be now.
I will just say that like their training programs are dog shit.
Yeah.
They're terrible. I mean, and then on top of all of this is like, hey, Zwift, listen up. Not that anybody ever listens to me, but listen up. If you miss a day, you should just be able to get back on track, and it should be like adaptive training. It's like, okay, you missed this day, we're gonna bump down the next day a little bit, but it's not like if you miss a day, it's over.
The whole plan.
The whole plan is over.
What? Really?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
pretty
See,
much,
when I
yeah.
miss
If
a
you
day
set
on
up a plan, you then can't continue.
when I miss a day on system for Wahoo, I do the next day.
Yeah,
I just skip the day I lost, and I just jump to the next day.
They're like, oh, you failed.
Fuck, really?
Yes.
Gosh,
Really?
Yeah, it's David and I have complained about this for years, and that's why I'm just
no
like,
idea.
and that's just the training plan specifically on Zwift, but that's why like these other apps, big fan.
Wow.
System's awesome.
highly recommend it.
Yeah,
Down with all things orange.
Oh.
Right now,
My my Strava's going up.
My
Yeah, the price.
Mine did too. I dropped it.
I kind of associate those apps in my head.
I dropped it. I dropped
so did
Strava.
You aren't on Strava at all?
I'm on the free plan
The free.
until they kick me off.
Oh wow.
They
Yeah.
won't kick
Same.
you off.
You never know.
Oh yeah. Well, then Wahoo will come up with something better.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I'm also on Ride with GPS.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, what's the food you cancel?
I would get
He's gonna say
rid.
tofu. You son of a bitch.
No, I haven't. I would be honest. I don't know if I've
Let's
ever
be
had
honest.
tofu.
The world has pretty
What?
much already gotten rid of tofu.
Yeah.
Unless you've been a bad person.
But I would get rid of it. So we, my wife and I have had a like those food delivery
Yeah,
boxes where you like get ingredients and you can prep it and make it and
You
everything.
can say the name. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I know. But we,
But I don't want to.
yeah, because we actually like getting this one.
Yeah.
But sometimes what they'll do is they'll include too much zucchini.
Oh, yeah. That's late summer, man.
Yeah, and zucchini is not. It's just after a while, it's kind of the same mushy texture, and it doesn't really add.
taller at the store.
Yeah.
Why is that coming in a box?
And it doesn't add that much flavor, and it's just like ugh,
Texture.
don't really like it anymore.
Yeah.
So, that's what I would get rid of. Zucchini.
Zucchini.
I
You
agree
know
with
what?
that.
That's a good call. That's a really good call. Every human being who thinks they can have a garden always brings in these gigantic zucchini.
And that's when they're bad, isn't it?
yeah, they're
they
terrible.
get
Yeah.
worse, yeah.
My neighbor actually gave me a couple the other day, and she cut them before they were huge,
Right.
and they're actually really good. But she says I have too much. I have never heard anybody say, "God damn, we needed to plant more new zucchini."
Never.
I wish I
It
would have
just
planted
goes
more
crazy.
zucchini.
Yeah.
You remember when your in-laws gave my wife like a 12-pound zucchini as a joke, thinking she would throw it away? We
Yeah.
ate zucchini for 2 months straight.
Oh,
She
Yeah.
made
Crazy.
noodles with
So-
it. She
Yeah.
So Dan can't throw away food. Like it's
Really?
against
Found that
her.
out at my birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, when she
Yes.
took the pizza.
Yeah, when she took the pizza. She's
Yeah.
like, what are you going to do with that? You're
She's
like,
like, I'll take it all
don't
home.
know. Yeah, exactly.
and it was pork pizza.
And then she'll like,
she's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I can't throw away good
It could be
pork
something
pizza.
that's not at all in her food groups. And
Yeah.
she's like, I can't waste food. And so I knew that. And going into it, obviously, I messed with David by giving them a 12-pound zucchini that he then had to eat for months.
The zucchini pasta is a joke. It is
Yeah.
also another
Yeah.
punishment.
yeah, I agree.
See, get rid of zucchinis, keep cucumbers.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
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 You gotta have
I
rolls.
love cucumbers.
Bully.
Yeah.
I agree. Me, I am 5 weeks away from the Kid of Shame, which is hanging on the wall behind Sam. I don't know if we have any cameras that'll hit it. Oh, because Paul's not here, it might hit it.
No.
You notice the Rogaine Viagra jersey. You notice the white shorts. Hi, Matthew Vanderpool. By the way, I'm wearing them as a punishment. You shouldn't have to wear them.
Remco did it too.
Yeah, he did.
I don't get the white shorts. I don't like them.
They're bad. And I have that logo on the side and everything. I jazzed them up, but you can't polish a turd any more than that. So, yeah.
That's bad.
That jersey looks like it. Like, is that race fit for you?
It's it is
Triple XL.
gigantic. It is huge. My brother-in-law bought it for me for my 40th birthday, I think. No, 50th. 50th, probably
Yeah,
50th.
50th.
As a wonderful joke. The back has a Metamucil logo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Nice.
all just old fart shit, and I was just like, oh my god, this is funny. And so it's ever since been, if you lose, you have to wear that. So neon jersey for those of you not watching us live on YouTube, and all white shorts. And I'm going to say, and there's a little tinge of irony in this, the food I would get rid of is mushrooms.
The hallucinogenic ones or the good ones? Which ones?
The good ones.
Why?
The food ones.
Why?
The irony is that I just cooked dinner tonight for my wife,
And it
and I
has
put
mushrooms.
mushrooms in it because I made her. It's cold enough that I was like going, you know what sounds really good? A good stroganoff. And so I made her stroganoff, and I put mushrooms in it because she loves them, but I can't stand
How
them.
are you supposed to get your G-bombs without mushrooms?
What's a G-bomb?
What's a G-pom?
Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms.
Bullshit.
Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms. Oh man, that's bad.
Bullshit?
I forgot
Does
it.
the
No,
B stand for
berries,
bullshit?
Berries and seeds. Got there. You have to have every single one of those every single day.
David, can I live a healthy life with Dr. David? Can I live a long and healthy life without eating mushrooms?
I mean, you could. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a sad life, but
Oh, they're terrible. It's a texture. It's
Yeah.
first of all, it's a texture. Second of all, it's like you
don't
bite
like-
into it and you're just like, oh, this is just mature dirt.
well, you
funny way to
This
really
is
are
just
not a fun guy.
disappointment.
I am not a fun guy.
Yeah.
I am a bad guy. So there we go. This is the usual part of the show where I ask how everybody's training and riding has gone, but I think we know the answer. For those of you who don't know, our region has been hit hard with massive, massive destruction by wildfires, resulting in toxic air quality. And before I proceed, I'd like to say thanks to all of our fire responders and their amazing work to stop the destruction, and thoughts with all those impacted by the fires. We've been hit pretty hard around here, and yeah, we joke around a lot about things. And I'm about to open up a topic that sounds like I'm being a little whiny jerk, but all that aside, hope everybody's okay. And my old friend Mark from the podcast, an old co-host on the podcast, Mark Hodgson, he has family out in the Medical Lake area, and I hope everybody's okay, and I hope they're doing all right. So, I take it nobody's been outside, right?
I've been riding.
You have
David
been.
and I rode last
Yeah,
Wednesday,
we had well,
Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, before
Yeah.
the fires.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
we
yeah.
had some pretty good morning rides. I went
too
out
early.
Yeah, it is, but we
Yeah.
had a good time. We
Yeah, it's good.
went out and rode as hard as we could for an hour and a half, and
Yeah.
it was
Those
good.
guys just soft pedal. I hope they listen to this too. David and I just
You
kept
are-
going back to the front. We're just like, I don't know why you guys are sitting up.
Really?
Oh yeah, endlessly, and they're just like kept looking like, what the hell?
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
It was mostly him. I'd finish my pull, go to the back, and then he'd be going to the front. I was like, huh?
Well, yeah, because David would come off the front and then they would just sit up.
Really?
Like, guys, I didn't realize this was all just you do soft pedals at 5:30 in the morning.
At any points when they were sitting up, did you hear anything like that?
No.
You guys are oblivious to that.
I will
I am
say,
oblivious to
I think we both had pretty good fitness from Montana.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my pulls were, I pulled off the front when I could no longer hold above 400.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like
Yeah.
some good pulling.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was a good effort.
I got one
Thank you,
in,
Montana.
one ride in last week, and that was
You did- 'cause
I
you didn't
think
want his
that
Zwift
was
or
what-
anything.
that was Wednesday after you guys told me that you've been riding,
Mm-hmm.
and I went out of spite, and I actually had a pretty good ride. I felt pretty
Nice.
good. You know, I'm hitting some of my soon thereafter canceled Zwift PRs, but you know, on some climbs and stuff like that, and it was pretty
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, the weekend hit. We were supposed to ride, and the weather was, you know, as thick as
Yeah, it was rolling
Yeah.
in.
chowder and toxic and
Ash.
Yeah.
ash falling.
Gnarly.
Yeah, it was pretty
and,
crazy.
and so my wife and I literally stayed inside. I hate using that word, but we did literally stay inside
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire weekend. And that was it. So Jackson, did you get in?
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I rode today when I did my my indoor workout. But you know, other than that, kind of same as you guys.
Yeah.
I bought a couch and I redid one of the rooms.
bought a
and-
couch.
That's adult.
Well, I know. Well, it was a Target couch, so it wasn't like
All right.
that
You
crazy.
don't have to say that part. It's
Hey,
like
we're
saying
working our
it's
way
like
out.
saying you
Short.
got 8th place. You don't say
Sell
that there
yourself
were 8
short.
riders.
But it was, yeah. I reorganized a room, and I think that was my workout for the weekend.
Right.
You know,
Nice. Great
so
workout.
it's
I got
Not
a
too
shit
much.
ton done down here. Yeah,
yeah, it's kind
yeah.
of nice sometimes to be forced inside. After a while, I did get super antsy though, annoyingly antsy. Like
Uh-oh.
I feel like I had to go do something,
Yep.
and so then that was the room that I redid.
That was the room you
Yeah.
did. Yeah, that's I get into that. I'll like rewire the console here, and Michelle will come down, and there's just cords all over the place. It looks like a scene from Brazil, and I know none of you know that movie reference except Paul. Paul needs to be here to get that reference, where all the ductwork is hanging down and wires are everywhere. And she's just like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I just thought I'd redo everything."
Why not?
There was a local group, I'm not going to name any names, that did go out for a ride on Saturday. And my first question is, you can be quick to answer. Would you have gone out for a ride on unhealthy, hazardous air conditions.
No, that's stupid. And everyone who did locally, it's stupid. I'm like, I don't even hold back. I have nothing to hold back. That's so dumb. It's so bad for your lungs. Like,
even if I'm going to play devil's advocate, and they were probably saying, hey, we drove out of town far enough that the air wasn't bad.
No, it was still so bad in our region. Unless you went to Walla Walla or like South Idaho, like middle South Idaho, like McCall, like it was bad. And so it was just one of those things. Like, I don't know. I mean, do what they want, right? I have no control there,
you're full-grown adults.
Yeah, you're full-grown adults. It's just one of those things. Like, I don't know if people know the implications that has, like, years down the road. All those particulates, those don't like go away when they're in your lungs.
Well, that was going to be my premature ask.
You almost said the word.
Premature ask Dr. David was talking about the long-term effects of riding in that type of a condition. Myself, I remember doing a Midnight Century several years ago where you could see the particulate in your lights. And yes, I'm probably paying for that. Probably the cause of my AFib. But
we'll blame that.
Yeah, we'll explain that.
Anything.
What are the short and long-term effects of something like that?
Short term, if you have underlying asthma or, probably not a lot of cyclists have COPD, but if you did, or lung disease.
Just the ones on specific drugs that they have a therapeutic use exemption in the Propeloton.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
So many pros are asthmatic.
Yeah. Wow. How they're all on steroids.
Yeah.
So in the short term, I mean, you can see people getting asthma and COPD exacerbations. It causes inflammation in the lungs. Long term, I'm not sure that you're really going to see. It's not like asbestos, which when that gets in your lungs, those particulates are incapable of being broken down by your body. So those are the ones that live in the pleura of the lung for the rest of your life. Most organic matter that's in smoke you can probably clear, but it's gonna cause inflammation and irritate your lungs. I mean, just personally, I would just take it as a rest. Like, you don't need to expose yourself to that level of damage to your lungs to ride on any, I mean, in my opinion, on any particular day. But I don't think it's gonna like increase your risk of cancer or like COPD in the future. I mean, people get COPD from smoke exposure over years, not one day.
Yeah. All right.
So, I don't know. I wouldn't do it personally.
Yeah. I mean, there aren't really any remedies. You just got to either remodel a room or...
Could you ride with it like a man?
You could.
That would be horrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw the offer. I mean, it was probably a great ride. But I just know what that would feel like. It'd probably feel like breathing in like water almost at some points. It'd just be so thick. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I didn't go, so I guess that answers my question for you.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. So, Paul did come over, and he and I had a little shop session. We worked on bikes. I sat in the corner and watched him like a little 4-year-old watching his dad work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He basically was getting the BMC back, and his original steed is back. He's ready for the Nationals in perfect Paul form. He flew there, and in perfect Paul form, something bad happened. His bike arrived a day later. Mm-hmm. Which, how would you like to arrive and just go like, hey, oh shit, my bike's not here. He's standing there at the baggage claim and his bike doesn't show up. That's so Paul. Yeah.
Does he have a hard case to travel with? Or is it a soft case?
I think he borrowed a hard case.
Okay, good.
I think he did. His wheels are in a hard case. I know that. Yeah.
That's kind of it's so expensive. That's just the only way you should travel with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does anybody have anything on the radar in terms of events?
I don't think so.
The night shift stuff on
you know what?
Wednesday night cross. Cross is coming. I got an
you know
email
what?
today.
I was going to say, is it okay
Yeah.
to say cross is coming now because there's nothing left?
Yeah, I
We're like picking at things right now that's still left.
You racing the?
What was that?
Oh, I see. For us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rebecca's Private Idaho.
Are you going to do that?
No, I'm gone.
That would be a cool race to do.
I'm doing it
That'd
next
be a cool
year.
race to do. It's always right around the time I have to go back to work, so I can't do it.
It's also tough because it's one of those like end of the season things. Do you want to spend another $200 on a race.
Getting your teeth knocked in? Absolutely.
It just, I'm starting. See, I think this Montana weekend really opened up some views for me.
It made you bitter.
No,
is what it did.
It did last week.
You're upset.
But no, what I was gonna say was
Like
that
your wife would say, "You're fussy."
exactly. It opened up some price-wise things for me. The fact that he could put that on and charge us $40,
Right.
and like
For 3 races.
for 3 high-quality races. I didn't know about the third one, unfortunately. But
It
like,
was
I
a road
assumed
race?
It was good.
And he's not
Yeah.
bitter or fussy.
Yeah. I had to throw that in there. But to think that he could put on a $40 per registrant race and to see like a semi-local fondo costing $150. I know that they have a much longer course and much more like.
But it's not closed off to traffic.
No.
Exactly.
To come to any type of, again, I found myself being Mr. Devil's Advocate tonight, but it depends on your region. It depends on who you are. I know that, for example, a Fondo probably has to pay for, like, especially if you're in a major city, you have to pay for cops on major corners to be
Right.
there. You have to pay them overtime. You have to pay for porta potties. You have to pay for
And of
you know.
course, Montana's cheap. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Their
Look how
beer's
much we
$5
yeah,
a
look how
pint.
much we pay
Yeah.
for beer and food.
Yeah.
But it just made me think like,
And the hotel was quite
And White
affordable.
Tiger.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tiger.
But it just
that
made
was
me think like,
affordable.
does it have to be as much as it is? You know?
No.
No.
Does
I
it
don't
need
think
to?
it does.
Does it need to take out like almost some people's paychecks? You know,
Yeah. That's a
not
shitty
almost.
paycheck.
I was about to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should mention that we have a local series of cyclocross, Velo Northwest, a night shift cyclocross series every Wednesday in Spokane's Riverside State Park. And I guess if you sign up before September 5th, you can grab a season pass for $90.
Wow.
That's
Signing up now.
But if you sign up at every race, that's $35 a day.
And how many races are there?
4. So do the
Right.
math. 4 races for 90 or 4 for 140. If you race just 3 times, you're still in the black. You made your money back. So
That's awesome.
that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. Is anybody doing cross this year?
Well, I'm signing up right now.
David is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some new bars.
I
I'm ready
think
to go.
I think it'd be fun. Maybe. I mean, middle of the winter thing. I'm bored and I want to die. I race the C-Pack. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Sam's
Mr.
shaking his head.
Get my teeth knocked in.
Yeah, you won't get your teeth knocked in on a
No,
cross
I'm
course?
more than happy. But I don't want to mount and dismount and run up a hill and all this.
Then be
That's just
better. You don't have to dismount.
See what I opened up?
I hate it. I hate it.
No,
Just
okay.
stay on
So
your bike.
I would go and cheer on anyone.
Donnie, stay
I
on
don't-
your bike.
Like a
Oh.
Walters. I think of like doing like one of the green buff ones would be kind of fun.
See, my problem is I don't want to do the ones in the middle of winter because it's freaking cold and I'm a wuss.
I do
don't
because
want to
No,
get
that's-
cold.
That's depression season right there.
Oh, yeah. No,
yeah,
just
yeah,
coat
yeah.
your
Yep.
body in Embro cream.
Yeah.
You're good.
The night shift stuff is really nice because I agree. I don't want to go out in a bunch of layers and be riding on frost. But that's the night shift last year. Those races, it was still like 70 degrees.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That was a weird October, though. Watch, this October is going to be like
September.
pissing rain.
I don't know,
September.
though.
It's not October.
but there was
It
some
is
in
September.
October.
It was September and the last one was in October. So
Yeah,
but
this
either
is
way,
all
they
just
were all
September.
nice.
4 nights in September.
Yep.
I'm thinking about doing it. I will get my ass handed to me.
I'll do a beer hand up for you.
I got my ass handed to me every week.
No, you didn't. You were in like the top 5 every
At the
week.
end, no, the first ones I was not doing well because I hadn't raced cross in forever. But like, it's fun. You don't have to do good.
And is there like for this event? Are there like A, B, C, or is it like?
Yeah,
Something
probably.
like that.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Something
Okay.
like that.
'Cause-
I know that there's 3 different categories.
Because I would personally find myself entering a much lower category because I'm.
Oh.
It doesn't even matter
awful.
because like it breaks up so quickly. Like you just
Yeah.
end up. Oh, there definitely was. There
Yeah.
definitely was A, B, and C. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
there's 3 categories. I don't know what they're called.
Do you have to race according to your USA cycling category?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, because I'm
Dude.
I'm a 2 cyclocross category.
How are you a 2?
Oh,
Oh, I'm a Cat 1 mountain bike rider too.
when
Yeah.
did this happen?
I used to be a Cat 2 roadie, but I downgraded.
Homeboy
be
used to
able-
be fast?
Yeah.
Use it.
You were almost in the Olympics.
I know. Yeah. I know you were a proper racer.
But yeah, I used to be a 2 on the road, and then I downgraded because I wanted to race.
So are
with
you
some
a
other
3
people.
or a 4 now?
I'm a 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I should fix that. I should really fix that. But I can't. I'm slow. But yeah, so if I just don't want to race my cyclocross category because they're like, oh, you're a 2, get up there. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's just a badge.
Raise the bees with me.
Yeah,
I
well,
would
I'd
race
race
C's if I did that.
Did they even have C's?
You wouldn't race.
See, you'd be
I'm not
racing
gonna
with
race,
like
you're
you'd be
right.
racing like 12-year-olds.
That
Like,
sounds great.
hey, mister, I like your bicycle.
Yeah. And I'd probably show up on my
Did your
mid-fat
daddy buy
too.
you that one?
come
Mine
up-
bought mine for me.
You come in full skin suit.
Yeah, full
Everything.
skin suit on my mid-fat mountain bike.
You just. Oh man! Hey, before we gotta keep the show rolling. Except I can't find my. I have everything labeled, but we got to start with a little news headlines with some support from our friends at POC. That's right, helmets of original design and keep you covered and safe. Check them out with our link at packfiller.com. POC. I didn't have anything to keep going over the sound bed.
There you go.
I'm getting new sound beds coming. But who follows gravel racing here in the United States closely?
I mean, I know who wins everything.
Yeah.
I know who won Unbound.
Okay. You know who won Unbound?
That was less.
Holy shit. David? Nah, shit.
Nah.
Peter
Peter Sagan might be in it pretty soon, though.
Yeah.
I'll start watching.
Although
you go.
it isn't all gravel, Keegan Swenson continues to be the powerhouse mutant behind all things off-road in this country with a second course record in 2 weeks. This past weekend at Steamboat Gravel, in addition to his Leadville 100 mountain bike record 2 weeks ago. He is absolutely flying. And my first question for you guys is that I know all of you can answer, at least provide an opinion upon, even though you haven't been following gravel racing, is what is with the trend of removing vowels? Why is Steamboat Gravel SBTGRVL? Why is Wahoo System SYSTM? Why is all of them? What the Cavendish, CVNDSH. What am I missing? It's really pissing me off. It's stupid, and it needs to stop.
He's so heated right now.
Am I the only one who's really getting freaking annoyed by this?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I did just look up the system thing on my phone because this is the first I'd heard of it, and I was like, "There's no such thing." But
Yeah, 'cause you
there's
type
no
in-
E. Yeah,
you
I
gotta
was like,
type
this
in
is stupid.
SYSTM.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't have
Hey
a
man,
good
it's
reason.
cool. Let's take out the vowels. Make it a challenge.
Makes a much cooler logo.
So should Packfiller
Yeah.
be PCKFLLR?
no.
One L.
FLR.
Flor.
Packfiller. Packfiller.
Let's be real. What does the second L really
Just
do?
like it's just,
Yeah, let's
true.
do that.
yeah.
Let's
Okay.
do that.
I don't have a good reason for you, but I agree. It's dumb.
it's like
I didn't
vegan,
know they
it's like
take out-
vegan and bacon. It's just
Oh, yeah, like-
you
We're
still
back
figure
on
it
that.
out.
We buy some fake bacon. That's BAKON, bacon.
Yeah, or
Really?
chicken.
Yeah, oh yeah, they take out the vowels.
They take out the vowels.
It's some vegan
It's some
shit.
vegan shit.
It's a
Vegan
plot by the
agenda.
vegans.
vegans.
How can now? So none of you guys are following this, but Jackson is good,
Yeah.
thank God. How can one rider simply pedal away from the best like this? This guy, it isn't like a team competition where you have a Tour de France that is incredibly strong. You know, you had Tadej Pogačar in his first win, or not his first win. He wasn't leading in his first tour until Primož Roglič.
last day,
You know,
yeah.
you don't have this where one rider just leaves everybody behind. Not since the days of Merckx.
But mountain biking is different in that
And gravel.
regard. You're right.
Steamboat Gravel, he
Yeah.
flew. He left everybody behind again.
Yeah, but like I mean, he beat everybody by 26 minutes at Leadville because 24.
That's okay.
Because
Just get it right.
check your facts. But like he's always been an incredible bike handler, and then I do believe honestly that if you were to throw him into the Road World Tour events, like he would also be a freak there. I'm not saying that he's going to win the Tour of France next year, but I think he is on that caliber of a rider, right? I mean, you take Lachlan Morton, who is an incredible athlete,
Yeah.
right? But he doesn't have those technical abilities that Keegan Swenson does.
Won the Breck Epic.
Yeah, he did win Breck
Yeah.
Epic. He won 2 out of 4 stages. 2 out of 4
Was
stages.
Keegan there?
No.
No.
I think we're seeing, like you're saying, some sort of like world-class talent finally in the gravel scene. And it's nothing against the gravel scene, but it has been ramping up for years and years, and it's getting more and more serious. And so you're seeing somebody like him finally who has this incredible, fitness that would, like Sam said, crush in road cycling as well. But now there's finally somebody like that in the gravel and mountain bike scene.
Yeah, it's like if who on God's green earth just won? Mathieu van der Poel. Whoa. Stuck with like that off-road,
You just
route.
wrote him off because he has white shorts now.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, it's like if he were to stick with like off-road, like look how powerful he is on it, right? But then he's like, oh, I need to go make some money. So he went and,
Tom Pidcock is online too.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, David, I think it's really interesting that you say that, because it's crazy to see the trend in how like this version of the sport is like excelling in its quality.
Yeah.
Because I remember in I forget when Ted King first won, formerly DK,
Yeah.
now Unbound.
Yeah.
He murdered it, like
Right.
killed it, like just
Yeah.
crushed the whole field. And then that was the point where people started to come over, and no longer, and Ted didn't really continue to win it after that. And now I think
He
they
just straight up left. He's like, I'm going to go do something else.
Well, and I think that-
Ted's still racing.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah,
know, but
yeah.
now he does the big
350.
ones.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. But now I think that Keegan is that next wave of it.
Right.
And I think that next will come like this even higher caliber of rider. Pete Stettin is a fantastic rider. He's
Yeah.
world class, genuinely.
Yeah.
And he's up there in those. But I think that we're going to be seeing like that group, like with the Ian Boswell and the Alex Howes and all that group, eventually be taken over, because they are going to be, quote unquote, the older group again, and then this young group will probably come through and
You're
just
not being
wreck
mean.
it.
You're not being mean by saying it is kind of a retirement party for a lot of
Yeah.
riders. Who were in the world tour, who were not dominant, who were incredibly strong in the world tour. Then they come to gravel. It's when to talk to Pete Stettin, it was an interesting discussion about the fact that the pressures of a professional racing career is so intense, and then to think about the fact it's like going, I can leave my family in March and finally see them in October, or I can make a living driving around the United States doing 12 races
Yeah.
and have a beer after the finish. I mean,
It's
it's
like Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
It's like Messi coming to the U.S. He's like,
but
let's
what's
play in the
happening
minors.
now is what Jackson's saying is you've got these people who are going, I don't want to go over to be a pro. You've got these mutant talent people who are saying, I'm staying right here.
Yep.
The money's here. The career's here. It's less stressful. I'm
Because
doing
now
this.
the money is there, right? Like
Yeah.
they have these big sponsors that are plugging them.
Lifetime Grand Prix is huge.
It was like maybe 5 years ago that our friends were like top 5 at DK
Yeah.
or Unbound.
Yeah.
And that would, if they went, they would be like lucky to crack the
Top
top
50.
50 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what's happening, is it's exploding in terms of talent. And then somebody like him has really exploded. So.
Yeah, because we're no longer seeing the same names anymore. I mean, we see riders like Christopher Blevins. I don't know if that's the correct way to say his last name, but and like I was going to say somebody else, but we don't
Alexi
see.
Vermeulen.
Yeah.
Vermeulen. I
Yeah.
think I screwed up his name. Yeah.
Or
yeah.
or like these like jukebox riders
Yeah.
that are coming through, but you don't really hear a lot of the older names that we all came as like cycling's household names in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's just it's a changing of the guard.
I got to tell you, David, if Peter Sagan goes to gravel here in the States, I hate to say it, he's just gonna get gut punched.
He's gonna get
I
sucker
don't.
punched.
It's
I'd
not
be
gonna-
interested to see what he would do.
David's crying. He was close enough to the mic so we could actually hear him
Yeah,
cry
I know.
that time. That was nice. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see though, because coming off a world tour and everything, I know he can sit in on long events like a
Yeah.
Milan San Remo, but
Yeah.
it's a different thing. It's not necessarily the same type of sprint finish.
I think if he gets enthusiastic about it, he could do it. Yeah, I think the motivation factor is what he's really been suffering through.
Yeah.
So, next story, we lost a women's pro team. EF Education Tibco SVB is going to close its doors at the end of the season.
What? I thought they just brought on Corinne Riviere.
Hold on.
Okay, sorry.
It's primarily due to the fall of Silicon Valley Bank and the fact that EF Education is forming its own women's team under Jonathan Votter's Slipstream Sports umbrella. So it's basically going to be the same as what you would see with the Jumbo Visma with a men's and a women's division, a men's and women's team. And so the EV Education Tibco SVB was not under Slipstream Sports. It was its own entity.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I think probably because the fall of Silicon Valley Bank and because of the first going to John Votter's is pretty much sealing the deal. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have been watching social media, but a lot of announcements of riders in current EF kits being announced as riders of the new EF team. Usually, you see a team announcement where it's, hey, Theo Gegenhardt's going to ride for us next year. Theo Gegenhardt is still in his kit, but it's you're seeing a lot of that happening now. So
Allison Jackson.
Allison Jackson just confirmed today. Yeah, that she's going to be switching over.
Yeah, I mean Corinne Riviera now too, but she's coming from Jumbo.
Is she? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Wow,
she's a talent. 70-something U.S. national titles.
That's a big signing.
Huge tie.
Yeah. Well, and I think. Well, and I also think that I love the fact that there are these organizations that are Movistar, Jumbo Visma, things like that, who are fielding a men's and a women's professional teams. Mm-hmm. I personally am under the belief that I would like to see more separation from that. I don't know why. I want to see more teams like SD Works, like Canyon SRAM, these teams that are their own thing. They're standing on their own. It doesn't look like it's some sort of a bullshit charity case. These are profitable business models that can really do well. Yes, that's my dog.
I agree with that, but also on that same note, I would say they already have the infrastructure of it, and they could provide a lot of and it's less waste. Like if a team has to have all of this other stuff, if you have just like a caravan in the US and a caravan in the Europe,
that's a great point.
It's like the teams can be racing using different stuff, right?
You have a warehouse, a service course with all the bikes in it, so why build another one?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do understand it is cool to see because the women's side is its own thing. I mean, it is so cool to watch. These women's races are unreal.
The game is it's so brilliant right now. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's at least European, I know that that's a way that a lot of European soccer teams do it. They have a men's side and then they have a women's side. Like for the Spanish team that recently won the World Cup, I think 7 of them were from the Barcelona, the women's team. So really? There are really high caliber women's teams that are just under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also am in the same vein, and this is I don't want it to be forced upon sponsors of teams to say you have to field both, because that will dilute the cash flow, and I think that women's cycling is becoming its own self-sustaining business model. Mm-hmm. It has a long way to go, but I think it'd be really cool to just see. Okay, I guess we could have both worlds, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we do.
I do like the idea, though, what you were talking about earlier with shorter courses. Let them decide whatever they want to do. They don't have to, do as long races as the men if they don't want to, right? Yeah. If women want to set up their own course in the sense of the tour is, only say 15 days.
I think the tour should be a hell of a lot longer than a week for the women.
No, but I'm just saying, let them choose what they want to do with it, right? I mean, if they want to race shorter days but race still 21, awesome. If they want to race, 10 days and longer days, whatever.
I guess.
I think it's exciting to see that it can...
Quit letting the UCI control all this stuff and get some sort of a proper...
Old guys that have been
proper
deciding
structure
this forever.
Of deciding these things. Speaking of the men's peloton, the Vuelta starts this week. Final Grand Tour of the season. The potential for Jumbo Visma to sweep all 3 Grand Tours this year. That is right, boys and girls. All 3 Grand Tours.
I think its chances are high. I thought so when was it decided that Tade is not there?
It was decided probably
2 days ago.
Okay.
No, it was earlier than that. Todd A, I think at the Worlds was saying like, "There's no freaking way."
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
just meaning like the UAE team announcement.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. They decided their lineup, but I don't think Todd A
Okay.
ever had intention of going. There are many top riders in attendance to get in the way of the pairing of Jonas Vingegaard and Primoz Roglic. Remco Evenepoel, the returning champion. Joao Almeida is leading the UAE team, it looks like. Enric Mas has a grudge to settle after his poor Tour de France first week. Geraint Thomas and Egan Bernal. Let's not throw Egan Bernal under the flames yet, because that guy had a pretty strong Tour de France showing for a guy who went through with what he went through.
I think he needs one more year.
Do you?
That's what I feel.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I agree.
So thoughts on the race. First of all, on a personal level, I would like to know, do you have another 3-week tour in your passion and in your system? Why or why not? David is like, I don't even watch pro racing. I just go out and
Sit
at 400 watts. Do what my wife says, and then
And when I can't sit at 400 watts, I just go home.
I quit. The crit was gonna start slow, Sam.
Okay. I'm starting a block of hospital medicine where this actually might work out very nicely. I start at 6:30. My interns will go do most of the work, and I'll maybe be able to sit there and watch the tour for
The Vuelta?
The Vuelta.
Different race?
Yeah, I know. And
Still
then
a tour. It's
It's
just
a
a tour
tour,
of
yeah.
Spain.
The tour of Spain.
the Vuelta. I'll be able
Vuelta
to maybe
is
watch it for a little
Spanish
bit.
for tour.
Yeah. So I'm
Sorry.
hopeful. I am hopeful.
Are you? So you're okay? You could be up for it,
I could be up for it. I mean, I didn't really get to participate much in the tour, to be honest. So.
Yeah. Sam Jackson.
I'm going to be hiking in the Swiss Alps, so
That's a good
Yeah.
excuse.
I mean, like, as much as okay, all jokes aside, I would love to watch this Vuelta. I think it's going to be fire. Like, I think
Yeah.
this is going to be one of the best Vueltas. Like, the firepower that is coming to this, that have actually set up for this, is going to be huge. I mean, I think I'm really interested to see how Jonas goes on this, but like, I'm assuming that Primoz is in a little bit better condition, just coming off of like resting and not just going straight from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
But and then like Remco, like, since he wasn't able to like do the Giro, like, this dude's been back on the training camp for this. Like, he's gonna be crazy fast. And then Geraint Thomas came off the Giro.
the Giro or the Tour.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh.
Right. So anyway, it's gonna be. I do wish that I could watch this, but there's no service probably up in the Alps
No, I bet there is.
at little huts.
Oh, it's probably on TV every day.
what
Just
is-
walk into a pub.
I might be in paradise.
Get Starlink.
yeah.
Get Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah. Yeah. Bring your iPad.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're not devoted.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You're not focused. Can I predict what you're going to say, Jackson?
Sure, you can predict.
He's
And you,
burnt out.
and you can tell me if I'm right. I think you're going to be burned out for a 3-week tour, and you're not going to watch, but you're going to watch the highlights. Am I right or am I wrong?
I have never watched the Vuelta.
Oh, you.
No.
He hasn't.
This-
No.
This
Listen
is
here.
this is there's a very good reason behind it. It's because I have watched so much goddamn cycling the whole year long. I love it. It is the sport that I am the most passionate about. But I've watched so much. And this Grand Tour is an exceptional Grand Tour. It is a prestigious moment for the rider who wins it. But it is by far, in my opinion, the most boring Grand Tour because it is so climby.
Whoa!
Oh, it
it's
is
so
so
straight climby too. It's not like the winding up the Alps and stuff.
Yes.
It's like these drags of like up this mountain.
There are not many possibilities of a Roubaix stage or a Jonas is flatted on one
Sure.
cobblestone 10K out kind of thing. This is more of a
Roglic will find something to crash into.
oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll still have that.
I mean, come on.
I don't really this was the first Grand Tour that I watched in my apartment in Portland, and I loved it. And then after a while, I was like, this kind of sucks because this is a really long day.
Yeah.
These end up being like 3-hour days to watch a Grand Tour, and it's like I'm working and I don't have time to watch it and all that. But
Yeah.
so probably not. But I'll probably catch highlights and what goes on social media. And so in the end, I'll have pretty much just watched it.
I'm going to do my normal thing. I'm back to teaching the teacher summer is over, and this is when I always feel sorry for myself, and then I try to voice that I'm feeling sorry for myself, and I notice that everybody else is just like going, dude, we work year round. Stop it. Sam, what are you looking for?
I want the athletic one.
There's a box of it right there in front of you.
No, but I want the one that's the Oktoberfest.
Oh, it's gone. I drank
son of
it.
a biscuit.
I drank it, but there's
Maybe-
other NA over there.
Maybe you should drink real beer.
Oh, this segment not sponsored by Athletic Brewing Company. Oh, you grabbed a stout?
Well, it is.
I have
still.
other ones that aren't stouts. But anyway, I will, and what I tend to do is I go in, I fire up my iPad in my desk in the morning while I'm getting ready, and I'll just kind of, I'll catch up to the race. It'll be live, obviously, and then I'll catch up to the live and watch the finale there. And it's a nice way to kind of get back into things. But yes, I'm not as overly enthusiastic as I would be if it were the Giro. The Giro is because it's the first one. It's like, yay! I'm so excited. The Tour is because it's the freaking Tour.
Yep.
And so it just becomes. I agree with you. It's almost like the
Feels like homework.
The stepchild.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw a post the other
I
day.
love you all, but not you as much.
I saw a post the other day on Instagram. It was like, have you ever seen that the picture of like the three-headed dragon? Like one of them looks really, like two of them look really aggressive and cool, and then the other one looks like a dopey idiot. And it was like the Giro, the Tour, and then the Vuelta was the dopey idiot.
Oh,
Well, it's kind of
so
true.
sad. Yeah, I do.
But I think that, like, because I agree with that, right? Like, it's always been the, like, afterthought of a Grand Tour, right? But I don't know. I think this year's going to be really exciting.
Who would you guys like to see? Not your picks, but who would you like to see come out on top?
Geraint Thomas.
Yeah, Geraint Thomas.
Geraint Thomas.
Yeah, I think we're all in that
Oh,
boat.
gee.
Yeah.
After the Giro, I was sad.
He's such a legend. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, how he handled that and everything.
Yeah,
That is, oh, yeah.
yeah. Who do you really think will come out on top? One rider. I'll let David go first because he's going to say Peter Sagan.
Well, yeah. First of all, Peter's gone. I know he's not registered yet, but there's still time. It's kind of like how
It's
I
in the
register.
mail.
It's kind of like how I register for races.
Day of, he
Just
shows
show
up.
up. Day
he
of,
shows
yeah.
up.
Hey, hello, I would like to race.
Oh, my God.
I don't know that I could see Jonas doing it again.
You
I
don't.
don't know if I'm the odd man out here, but so maybe he'll work for Roglic.
Yeah. So
I
I
don't
just
know.
asked for one name. You don't
Yeah.
have to pick the name.
Okay,
yeah.
Roglic.
So Roglic?
I guess, yeah.
Sam?
Roglic.
Who do you really think will come out on top?
I think
In other words,
Remco.
give away your top pick.
I think Remco, but I really haven't, like, I think Jonas. Like, why would Jonas show up to this if he wasn't going to, like, his season's over. He did well at the Tour.
Yeah.
So why would he show up if he's not planning on doing really well?
Yeah.
And he was so good at the Tour. I don't know. Like, I just have this thought in my background. I'm like, I think he's going to win.
When was the last time? I need Paul here. When was the last time we had a Grand Tour
It was
winner?
Froome.
Right.
It was
Froome.
Froomey.
Yeah.
Didn't he win
And
all
then he
three
won the
in
Giro the next year.
No, he hasn't
Oh,
won all three
okay.
in the same
That's what
year.
I thought.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
in
he
the
never
same
will.
year, but he won them consecutively.
That was Stephen Roche won the Giro, the Tour, and the Worlds in 1 year.
That was like 2018 when
Roche
Froome
won.
did it, right?
Roche
no,
won in 87.
maybe it was, Maybe
Yeah.
it was 2018. It was something like that he won
Two
Tour.
Grand Tours.
Yeah, but then he won the Giro the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. He won them consecutively.
If you don't take into effect that the year changes, that's technically a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, that's still
It
a huge
counts
achievement.
within 300
Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
few
God,
people
yeah.
that have won all of them
Yeah. And
consecutively.
for everybody busting Chris Froome's balls, just freaking stop it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Well,
that's incredible.
let the guy cash out. Let the guy sell
Let the
cell
guy
phone holders
sell
on your
quad
handlebars.
locks.
Yeah.
I think he's
Everybody could try having their cell phones on their handlebars.
I kind of think he deserves some of the flag he's getting. I think you got to. I think Remco is going to show up
You do.
because I think he really wanted to win the Worlds, but I don't think he really went all in.
Yeah.
I think technically he could not have held the wheel of those final four
Those guys were
riders.
on fire.
Did he win the time trial?
He did.
The Worlds? Okay,
He
that's
did.
what I thought.
Which shows something strong going into
That's-
the Vuelta.
I know.
So I think that he'll show up, but I really don't. I don't think that. Well, I'll just say Remco,
Okay.
and then I'll get onto my other stuff later.
Okay. I'm throwing my eggs into the Primož Roglic basket,
Yeah. I think that's a...
which means he's going to crash.
He knows how to win
He
this
did
race.
a podium thing. He did a podium thing at the Tour of Burgos just recently, where he did his famous, Nordic jump landing, where he goes onto the podium and does that, and he wobbled, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy can't even stand up.
Why'd you have to pick the same one? Can't you just pick one of those?
Yeah, you're screwed if you pick. The
It's
same
a good
as me.
choice though. He knows how to win this one.
He does.
You didn't pick him. You're
did.
thinking.
He's one of the picks. Yeah. So let's do it. Let's. By the way, a side question: we've seen so many team announcements for 2024. Riders switching. Theo Gegenhardt, although he's not riding the Vuelta, but we've seen that. And what do you think that does to the dynamic of a team, knowing that you're working for a dude who's not going to be on your team next year, or a dude who's working for you who's not going to be on your team next year? I guess it
Wait,
depends
is there
on
any
maturity.
of those cases in here?
No.
There aren't.
I don't think so.
Well, then never mind.
Well, I get what you mean though.
Yeah.
I think that Teo is such a talent that I think any team to pick him up is like a really good thing for the. You see, we all want to say for the future, but he's not that young anymore.
He's not. Yeah.
I think that
Is he what? Older 20s?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Shit, that's that's old.
well, but like in the world of sport, like you're
It
kind of
is.
reaching.
In the
You're
current world of cycling,
Yeah.
like you cash out at 30. Like you've made your bucks by 30.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think that Lidl Trek is getting a really great rider in. I think they're looking a little bit more Grand Toury than they ever
They
had
are
before.
stacking
Yeah.
the deck.
They have a
Lidl Trek.
lot of new
Yeah.
riders.
I think the Lidl person came on and went, you know what? Enough of this retirement home shit.
Let's
we
buy a
let's
shitload
get
of
some great
riders. Even though in the past couple of years, Lidl Trek has not really been the retirement center anymore.
No, it's getting a lot better.
No, it's Israel Premier Tech is what it is.
Yeah.
It is Israel Premier Tech. Top 3 picks. David, you want to go first, just so we can just make you look like you've done something wonderful?
Oh, thank you so much. Roglic, Geraint, and Remco in that order.
Lauren, okay. That's not bad. Those aren't bad picks. And did I set the rule that Sam
Wait,
wasn't
who
here
can't
because
we-
you showed up late. You can't pick Jonas, Primoz, and Remco. You can't pick those 3
I don't
all
think Jonas
together.
has got it.
You can pick 2 of them, but you can't pick
Oh, that's
all
easy.
3.
I'm going to
Okay.
do Jonas, Remco, and Geraint.
In that order.
Okay.
Do
I don't
already
have to
pick
do
an
an
order?
order. No. But nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
You did a good boy.
All right.
You did a good boy.
Jackson?
I think Jonas is going to show what Tade shows on the tour, that is going to get a little bit of like long season fatigue. And I think it's going to be Roglic, Remco, and Geraint.
Okay. I like to gamble. I'm a gambling man. I like to take chances. As long as my wife doesn't know what's going on. Because then she's like, wait, how much is that going to cost? I am going with Geraint Thomas. I'm going with Primoz Roglic. And I'm going with Joao Almeida.
What?
Wild card in there.
Why?
Because
Go ahead.
you never know.
Yeah, he held the Giro jersey for a week and a half, 2 weeks, 2 years ago. So
Wait,
Got it in him.
who was your first? Who'd you pick?
Geraint
UAE.
Thomas, Primoz Roglic, and Joao Almeida. Which means Remco Evenepoel is going to win the Vuelta.
that'd be cool. Paul texted us all. He said that
Oh, did he?
he thinks that Roglic is gonna win it and be the first ever to take 4 Vueltas.
No. That
Isn't
would be a
that
good choice.
crazy that I didn't like? And I think there's a lot of people that don't know that stat, like because it's just one of those things. Like if you were to ask me who won last year, I'd be like,
It's because nobody gives a shit about
Well,
the Vuelta.
No, that's not the case. You got to take into account of where we live. I mean, Jackson, when you were growing up, you got chastised and you got bullied in grade school because you didn't know like who scored 3 touchdowns in the 1987 Super Bowl and all that bullshit statistics that most American boys have to grow up, or they're going to get punched by their father, or something like that.
Yeah.
No, and so we're talking about a cultural shift where here in the States, it's just like it's throw ball, baseball, basketball. Here, you might know some kids who know some of those stats more often. By the way, am I bitter about my home country?
yeah, yeah,
Can you tell I
You
grew
and
up as a
all in
bike
there.
racer?
yeah.
Can
Only-
you
With no friends.
can you tell I play? Did you say something about my girlfriends? What was that?
With no friends.
Oh, I thought you said no
Like
girlfriends.
bikes,
No
and
friends or
everybody's
girlfriends.
I was like,
"You're
how
a
did you
loser."
know I didn't have any girlfriends? My mom looked at me one day. And she said, I was in college. She looked at me and said, "Are you gay?" I went, no, I'm not gay. She says, you just never bring home any girlfriends.
Shave your legs.
Yeah, you just never bring home any girlfriends. And I was like, I sleep around
Nobody
Mom.
likes me.
I am a man whore.
I am not a man of commitment. That's why.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I was like, well, okay. Yeah, there we go. So we have our Vuelta picks. Let's go to our topic for tonight, brought to us by our friends at Cycle Systems Academy. Please use our link at packfiller.com. Jackson, what do you got? How's Cycle Systems coming along?
Good, yeah. So I am still currently chipping my way through the world of bottom brackets and everything. Yeah, what is
Press fit, threading.
Another thing about that is they give you a workbook on every. I've talked about this before, but they give you a workbook on every lesson, and they tell you and in these workbooks, they give you all of the different types of bottom brackets, which it's kind of nice to have because that's something you can keep. You can always have that, and I mean even all the way up to tire and wheel combinations. They give you all of those. So, like, if you're worried, like, you maybe have a set of, let's say, NV wheels and you put Continental tires on it, are they going to fit? You have that there, which is kind of a cool resource to have.
That's huge anymore.
But then just being able to go through it and just kind of slowly but surely do it at your pace is really nice. You can pause and rewind. It's a platform that is super nice for somebody who doesn't have the time to go to school.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
There's no quiz on Monday.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't have to cram for anything. There's no tests. It's just like you have it for a whole year so you can learn and then relearn things. But my bottom bracket portion is going well so far. As I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I learned how to take off the cranks.
Yeah.
Which is just it's a valuable tool. And my next part of the course will take me into building wheels. So I'm excited to do that. That feels like a pro level thing. And it's nice that there is a resource that can bring you up to a pro level course without having to break the bank on something. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. The art of truing, building and lacing and dishing and truing a proper wheel has been lost. And I think that's
with carbon wheels and how strong they are anymore. Yeah. Well, I guess I found out how weak they can be as well.
Yeah.
But it's the art of truing is kind of not necessarily around anymore. Yeah. So it's something that is valuable to learn, especially if you're someone who wants to work in a bike shop. You're going to get a lot of aluminum. Yeah. Maybe even other material wheels that you need to learn how to true. So yeah. It's all in there.
I love it. It's zen for me, putting a wheel on the truing stand and just tweaking the spokes a little bit here. Although now you need to have you got to take everything off and go internally to get to the nipple and stuff like that. It's just like I said nipple. There he is.
Is this a pillar?
Yeah.
Is this
I want to talk about teams. You guys don't even know the topic. About clubs, about groups you associated with. I think we came to a realization in Montana. It's really fun to suffer with friends. Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to have teammates to help out, race for, and celebrate afterwards. We're a small group of riders, and here ourselves, this team consists of just the people who are on the podcast. It's us. But I would like to kind of ask you guys about, because some of the teams you've experienced and clubs you've experienced or lack thereof. Jackson, I know you've been lack thereof. I spent a lot of my years on a large club, but I was the only person in my division, so I basically would be riding by myself. So let's just start broad. To you guys, at your current state in your cycling career, what is the type of person that makes a good teammate? Well, how would you define a really good teammate at this age?
Good question.
I think I have had a lot of teammates, not necessarily within the cycling world.
Sure.
I've had a lot of dickhead teammates. I think that's the best way to describe
Selfish
it.
twats. Yeah. Selfish twats.
Yeah, that's perfect. Another way. And
that's great.
Yeah, it's
nailed it.
To quote my British friends.
Yeah. And I think that a teammate needs to know you well enough to know how to deliver like criticism in a way, or like advice. And I feel like we have created an area or a space where we have the teammates that can properly give advice rather than screaming at one another or calling them idiots. Because I know that you would talk to David way differently than you would talk to me. For instance, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like you would deliver things a little differently because you can look at David and be like, "What the hell are you doing? You're at the back of the pack."
Wait for next year.
It's so true. It's so true.
But I appreciate teammates that are aware of how other people take things. I think that's what really is needed for me, at least.
Sure.
I cannot be yelled at. That's when I shut down.
Oh yeah, totally. I think you have to know the right time and place too, because it's like one of those things where sometimes you don't like need to criticize. They know it. It's like I just was pointing out that David was in the back of the pack because David knew that.
But that's how you guys talk.
Didn't really know the race was up there, but really thought it was gonna last longer. Story of Sam's life.
Yeah, I think that like a teammate is
Under the radar joke at brother's expense.
Man,
in case you
this
missed
is
that,
why we talk to each
rewind.
other this way.
But it's different delivery. That's what I mean.
Seriously, hit if you're listening on your device, hit back 30 seconds and just listen for David's voice. There you go.
But yeah, like
Easter
I think
egg.
that a good teammate nowadays is somebody that's just willing to go out and suffer with you. Like that's the bare minimum of it. Because really, I don't expect to be, like I wouldn't go to the Montana stage race next year and be like, oh, I'll win.
Well, you did 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But like,
yeah, I did.
But no, it's one of those things that, I mean, it's more about like having fun and, like the group, the culture that we had there was just a blast. And like, that's what I want out of the group. I don't like anyone who's going to take themselves so seriously that, it's like it ruins the atmosphere of like, we're all out having fun. That's not somebody I want to be around.
Yeah.
Like I want to be having fun and going hard.
Yeah.
In residency, I've been a part of the interview process for like incoming interns now for a couple of years, and we have this thing called the night shift test.
Okay.
And you basically ask yourself, did you want to spend a night shift with this person?
Oh.
Because you learn a lot about somebody on a night shift. There's a lot of weird experiences, a lot of alone time together. And that's an excellent way.
So many potential wrong connotations.
I'm
but
sure
that's
it
okay.
does. But it's an excellent way to basically sum up like, hey, do you want to spend time around this person when they're weird?
Yeah.
Which is most of the time for cyclists. And I think you could kind of adapt that and like especially in like that stage race format, like do you want to sit at a table afterwards with this person and like hang out? Do you want to have that after race moment with them? That's what I'm looking for, is somebody that like you want to sit with after the race and talk about it, because there's people that like you don't have a good race and you don't want to be near them afterwards.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And really, like, I'm not out there to win every single race. I just want somebody to race hard with and be able to have a good time afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
and to be able to together both admit when you screwed things up.
Do you want to stay at the White Tiger with that person? That's what we're calling this test. Would you stay at a White Tiger with this person?
Would you stay at the White Tiger?
Yeah.
Jackson didn't stay at the White Tiger.
Are you guys saying that you didn't have a good weekend with me? Because I'm starting to get self-conscious.
Yeah.
I totally forgot you didn't stay there.
Yeah, that's true, right? We're
I
calling
didn't
him
want
out.
to either.
How many teammates is perfect at our level, at our current level? What's, we're a team of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, how many is too many and how many is not enough? Is there a fine line?
I think that like category wise is kind of the division for me, because you guys,
we're
guys
gonna
are
need
in your
to do
own
that.
category.
Paul
right?
and I need to
then,
admit that we're not going to be up there anymore.
Right. But I mean, like, that's
Go
great
fast,
because
Paul. You can do it this weekend.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
But like when we rode with the as we've been on a few other teams, but like David and I were on Monton was the last one, and that was fun because there was basically a masters group and a competitive group, right?
Yeah.
And both of them were competitive, but the masters raced in the older guy category, and that was great. But like in the younger guys, there was probably 6-7 of us that were always there, and that was a good number of people. I think that 5 is kind of like that would be, if we had 2 other guys that jived with us, I think it'd be killer. But
Yeah.
that would stay at a White Lotus. That will never stay there again.
Yeah.
White Lotus?
Right.
We'll
White
experience
Tiger,
that
sorry.
with
White
us.
Tigers.
And then run
White
far
Lotus has
away.
a whole different feel. to
Yes,
it.
that's my bad.
I haven't seen the show
Yeah.
yet, but my wife tells me, you got to watch it.
But yeah, and then like probably something like that for you guys, to have a couple more teammates would be fun.
I don't want to throw this out there, but I think that probably 2 more in your category, the fast assholes, and 1 to 2 more to race with Paul and I. Paul and me would be great. So yeah,
Because like this is a killer group. I mean, if we didn't have anybody else, like this is a killer group.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like we had an absolute blast.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it'd be fun to have a couple more.
What's the sharing responsibility when you get to a team? Like in terms of emphasis on who's going to be the protected person, prize money, preems, things like that. At this amateur level, would you expect coming out from a crit this weekend for me to share with you guys my preems if I was in the race, and you guys blocked for me?
Not really.
No.
I wouldn't.
I mean, we all have.
Chances are it's a gift certificate
It's
for
honest.
a beer.
Yeah. But the thing is like, I don't know, being an adult, I'm like, yeah, if you have $50, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Go buy a tire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, seriously.
Like truly, it's just one of those things. Like it's not that much at the end of the day. I think it's
Yeah.
just cooler that we all.
Yeah, we all have careers. It's not like you're going to these things every weekend depending on each other to
Yeah.
make some money.
Gas
but
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might use Preem. I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah,
would buy
use
everybody
Preem money to
beer or
buy
something.
beer.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say if I won
That's
$1,000, I'd buy
Yeah.
dinner that night or something like
I mean,
that.
like I won some preems at the local one this year, and I just gave it back to the promoter. So
Did
it's
you?
like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm glad you guys put this on, but also here, pay it forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think something in terms of the earlier part of that question that I'm at least figuring out this year is this is the first real year that I've raced on a team with other people. And so that's something that I've had to and I've said this in my mind, but I've kind of written off this year as like a learning year to just like understand what it's really like to work as a team. And I think next year it's going to be something where I am more comfortable with it. I know that we'll be able to jive a little bit more now that we've had a whole race year under our belt together. I think that it's just like this year was kind of a coming together, and next year will be like, okay, we know how the other person races. We know when one's tired, how to do it all. It's something when a new team comes together that you have to learn about each other.
Go ahead.
It takes years to be like, I mean, I don't think that you have the experience yet of like the racing at that level.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I think it's going to be a couple more years of like learning at like where you need to be and all that. But I do think like, yeah, you're right. Like locally, I think that we could clean up, like next year by.
Don't say that.
Oh, I'm gonna say it. Are you kidding me? Like of how I act. Like I was also gonna clean up at Montana.
Yeah.
You got destroyed.
So here are the difficult questions about the process. Number one, how do you invite riders to a team without making an
I
open
need to see your
exception
power numbers.
process?
And your
Without sounding like an elitist douche. I need to see. David, if you need to go, you can go upstairs. You're shifting.
How did you know?
yourself.
How did you know?
his
I know
teeth
you're
are floating.
You're swiveling.
We clearly aren't looking for somebody to just like join and win.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
Like,
I want someone fun.
so I
Yeah.
don't care about their. I mean, it'd be nice if they were in the race. I don't know, people getting dropped off. It'd be nice if they were actually there. So
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
a certain level of fitness that's
Yeah.
needed, but
It's hard. It's hard because I know of a lot of clubs that open up. You can go upstairs. And
I got to do it.
Yeah. I know some
there's
riders.
a drain right there.
No, don't go upstairs.
No, okay, there's a drain.
Hey
right
Jack,
there in
when you
closet.
listen to this show, we need the
pack filler potty.
the pither to be completed. For everybody not watching on video, David just went upstairs to pee because he was swiveling back and forth on a saddle,
And
on a
his teeth
stool.
are just like chattering.
But you don't want to turn it into, because I've seen clubs that grow so fast that they have so many riders that you could be riding down the road and go, who the hell is that in my club jersey?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Been
Or
there.
And I've also talked to some clubs who are so elitist in their acceptance process that you're just like going, oh my God, I don't want to ride with you guys because you're a bunch of elitist douchebags.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the fine line there?
I think, at least for me, this is what
You have to be on the podcast?
Well, I mean, that's what we've. Yeah, I think that we have created a crew here that is at any given point during a race or even during just like a weekend ride would go out and for the right reason would empty themselves for the other.
Yeah.
Like I know that for sure. Like Sam, if you're at the front of a group and there's a great possibility that you could do it, I would go up there and I would just leave it all out there for the other teammate. And I think you can just get a feel of how somebody is when you're with them. If they're, you just get a, for lack of a better term, vibe off of somebody. And I think that's what's so important. If you're willing to just lose your entire race for the other person, I think that's what's needed for a good team.
Okay, in that same thought, then how do you tell somebody they're not working out? Or you don't want them on your team?
I think it's more of
That's
the personality thing than anything else.
Because we're supposed to be this inclusive sport.
Right.
This inclusive thing.
Yeah, I think it's more, I think even above all else, I mean, because David was saying too, like, yeah, you want to be with you, but I think at the end of the day, it's an attitude thing. For me, it's like, because if, I'd hope they're racing in our categories so that we can spend time together.
Yeah.
But on that same note, like if we're not, like,
thanks, Sam.
Yeah. Well, no, we already established that. Like
I don't count.
Yeah, and what I think of you.
Oh, okay.
You're not that
that's
fast.
true. That's true.
Yeah, we were talking about your category earlier.
I used to be fast.
You used to be fast.
Yeah.
But now you're
still
not fast. Anyway, no. Okay.
When I was
God,
your
you
age-
sidetrack me.
Sorry.
This is what happens, and then I go off being a jerk to you.
Sleight of hand.
I know, right? But anyway, that's just what I would say is it's more about personality to me, because I've had fun teammates that I'm just like, I don't really care. I just want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
And either they're throttling me or I'm throttling them, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
I thought of something while I was peeing.
Did you?
I don't
Yeah.
want to know. Why is it so small?
Why is it so small? There's another one.
For those of you
We're
that
on a
couldn't see it, he had to
podcast.
shake it off
I know,
like he
I
didn't
did.
even mean to say it.
That coloring,
wrong.
right?
Well, we are related. It would be nice.
We just heard that the Waples are built poorly. Anyway,
It'd be chill if one of y'all would do
it all went
cyclocross
backwards.
with
It all
me.
went backwards because you guys all got bubble butts.
Yep.
Oh
we
yeah,
do.
that's it.
No.
Just all
That's it.
the emphasis went behind you instead of in front of you. Okay.
Yeah. No, cyclocross is dumb.
No, it's not.
It
Thank
is.
you. I just wish
I'll do
somebody
beer
would-
feeds. Can I participate in the team with beer feeds?
Yeah, the one day you came out last year was pretty fun.
Yeah,
You
I know.
just
I
sat there
handed
and
up a
hung
lot
out.
of
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. You could at least show up.
All right, I'll do that.
So, David, while you were pithing, we were talking about the element of teammates. How do you not be an elitist a-hole by being particular about who joins your team, and how do you not be a complete a-hole by telling somebody it's not going to work out?
Oh,
You don't know, do you?
that's a tough one. Yeah.
That is.
No. 'Cause
I don't have the answer.
Yeah. Because, the thing is that you're going to spend more time with people, with your teammates at a podcast table or training than you
Yeah.
are at a race. So,
Yeah.
it's really, I heard him saying when I came back in, it's a personality thing.
So like back to the personality thing, 'cause that's where I was going with this. If your resume sent into us includes The
lengthy
Office,
interview process.
Yeah, The Office is your TV show of
400
choice.
watt FTP.
You like bourbon, and you have a 400 watt FTP, and you mention nothing about your body weight or any of those other like watts per kilo
Don't forget
nerdy things.
espresso.
Yeah. Oh, and you like espresso. You're in. Like it's simple. I mean, that resume tells us everything we need to know.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. They like The Office.
I watched.
I've never met somebody who.
I watched the first 2 seasons of The Office when they were actually airing.
Yeah,
and then I stopped.
Yeah, this is why we don't get along.
I did watch all Parks and Rec though later on. I did
That's
watch
a very
all
good.
of
That's
that.
a
Is
good
that-
alternative.
That's a good one,
recovery
too.
Okay,
That's a
okay.
recovery
There's
point
a
for
few.
you.
There's a few shows out there that would be accepted.
All right.
We can't give them all away.
Yeah. Well, so there we go. Use that information as you will for everybody out there, probably on a team similar to our size, or team looking for a rider looking for a team. Just understand that it's a fit, it's a puzzle piece, and I think that it's with anything, it's understanding that everybody has a really good match where they can work. And that sounds douchey. That sounds elitist to say something like that, hey, my place might not be on this team. My place might be on another team because my experience level, my attitude, my fact that I have specific whatever, I this is my calendar. I want to race more gravel. I'm a mile head. I want to, I want to be able to do a little bit of that. It might be a specific club or specific team that makes it better off for you in the long run. So I don't know. I guess
it is but like now think about like world tour teams trying to make up these decisions. Where a lot of money is on the line.
Yeah.
God, that would be tough. We're just like a bunch of Ricky racers out here on the weekend trying to hang out and drink beer.
And you look at a team like EF, where Vaughters picks some pretty specific type of riders on his squad. They're very quirky. They're very individual. They're very kind of independent, odd people, and that's what makes that team dynamic work. So I don't know. I guess the same could be scheduled for all levels. So does anybody smell smoke? It smells smoky.
Yeah,
now.
I'm getting this little something.
Doors open. Yeah, my wife's out back having a cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't get enough of the big old Cubans. Moving on to pack filler picks. David finally gets to have his pack filler picks tonight, and I you know what? It's perfect. It is honestly perfect that you said that and that way. That yay, because your 3 picks are so adorable.
What?
They
These are very practical.
I'm going to open up each link as we go on the main monitor here, and everybody can follow at home. Or these links are all posted as Amazon links on packfiller.com. So what I'd like to everybody in the panel to comment on is: do you agree with his picks? Or in this case, really, David?
Okay, I was looking for your
let's start, David, shall we?
Your foundational, you need this. These are products you can't get away from in cycling, and these are the best. Everybody needs lube.
And all affordable.
Yes. Yeah, and David's good for the money.
Well, David's first choice is Rock and Roll
Gold specifically.
Chain lubricant.
But hang on, but this is the 16-ounce large one that you can refill your small one with. So you can pay $23 for 2
lube
or 3
for
years.
That's not a lot.
Years.
Yeah.
And this is summer, winter, all times of year. You just use it a little bit more frequently in the winter or the wet. Mm-hmm. But this is this is the lube that I go to above all else. Mm-hmm. And it makes your drive chain stay clean and shiny because it's got the cleaning bit and then the lube in the bottom. And I don't know if it makes it last longer, but it looks good. It's quiet and it's cheap. And it you don't need any other lube. This lube
that makes it last longer.
Well,
come on.
I stand by this lube. This is, I think, for anybody wondering, should I get this lube for what? Just get this lube all year round and use it more frequently in the winter.
He is passionate about it, and I will say he did convert me to it.
Yeah,
you did.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, really? I use that too.
Yep. And you can refit $23. That's crazy.
I still have. I think I bought in the last since you were in Cal Poly. When was that?
8 years ago.
Yeah, I just have bought my second one.
Yeah.
Jackson, what's your go-to?
I bought my chain lube when I was still in college, and it was cheap. I think it was Pedro's.
Okay.
But knowing that it does kind of clean the chain a little bit, along with lubricate it at the same time, is something that does sound pretty lucrative to me. I have a very good blacked out chain. So
I'm not gonna lie. Up until 7 days ago, I didn't. Rock and Roll was my lube of choice.
Up until 7 days ago.
What is now?
Let me finish. I also use Rock and Roll's the red cleaner. I dilute it, and I use that as the best cleaner in the world. I have a gallon jug of it down here, and it's a concentrate.
You're gonna say muck off.
I'm not going to say muck off.
Oh,
I know what he's gonna say.
Muck off.
I waxed my chain. I had it. I had the Silka wax. I used the Jackson gave me one of those little tiny crock pots, and I
good.
put it in there, and I have yet to go on a ride yet with it. I will say, taking a wax chain out of the wax and hanging it up and doing all that kind of stuff, it was really weird. It was there's so many sexual innuendo jokes we can use tonight.
is it on the bike right now?
It is.
It doesn't
It was stiff. It was kind of
Doesn't
gritty.
it leave like a mess on your cassette though?
It doesn't even look that different.
No.
It just looks like a normal chain.
Yeah. I just put it in there, let it sit in there for a couple minutes, took a coat hanger and hung it up on the wall and let it drip out and stuff like that. And then, yes, when you first put it on the bike, for those of you who've never done a chain wax, it's a weird process. I mean, because it's I'm not gonna lie, you got candle wax all over your chain, and it leaves little sediment behind when you first run it through and stuff like that, and you're supposed to kind of probably scrub it. And I'm sure I don't know enough about what I'm talking about, but it's I don't know. We'll see how it works. But the rock and roll was my lube of choice.
But this is like, that is a process. This is your go-to.
It is.
Bike, mountain bike, cross bike. I use this on everything.
Well, I
is
just
the
did it for
workhorse.
this chain because it was a brand new chain. I'm like, okay,
No,
let's
that's
see what the hell this is all about.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying I ain't going back to rock and roll because it's great stuff. So so we all agree. We'll give David a little thumbs up on that one. His next choice.
Okay, again, I am.
Interesting.
I
am
believe
like
this
a
just
classics-
doesn't this fall into the category of duh.
No.
No, absolutely not.
All
There's
right.
so many tire lovers out there.
There are so
There
many,
are.
and if you have ever had,
By the way, the product that people can't see because they're listening to us
Fair
are
enough.
the Pedro's bicycle tire levers, a pack of two, the yellow ones, the big, thick, plastic yellow ones.
yep, $8 for two of them, and they're the last ones you'll ever need. If you have ever been on a ride and had your tire lever give out on you
Many times.
and then you're
I've
screwed.
broken metal ones before.
Yeah, I've been metal ones. I've broken plastic ones. These will not fail you though.
They're killer.
Yeah, these are
$8.40.
Yeah, and they don't scratch up your rims because
Yeah.
they're plastic. I mean, there's so
Or
many
the metal.
reasons. They have the hook,
Yeah.
which is for
Which is to clip to the spoke.
Yeah. You didn't know
God.
that?
That guy.
No.
That guy.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm telling you,
No,
he is.
yeah, you clip to the spoke so you can get the other one in
you
there.
can
Best
also
mechanic in town.
you can also use the hook you're talking about
Yeah.
to loosen your valve core stem.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Holy shit. I had no idea on
Yeah.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't bend and break on you like a lot of others.
Yeah.
These are quality. I'm all about things that like
Okay.
will
You're
last.
just, I think it's adorable. I mean, the next
right.
one's
It's adorable.
The next thing you're going to say is probably a well-fitting bicycle.
You need
No,
a well-fitting
This
bicycle.
this is actually adorable because the next one is a water bottle.
It's
Okay.
Love
is-
you, man.
this is a big deal though.
This
Every-
is the hold on. This is the Camelback Podium water bottle. This is a 21 ouncer for $12.
I feel attacked.
No, I'm describing it for the listener who isn't on with us live, who can't see
Fair
the
Why not the
monitor in
24
background.
ounce?
Fair enough. You can do 24 too. It's just it's the podium bottle
I like
is what
that.
I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's the top. It's the whole package. Like again, I'm about things that will last you. That you can and again, I believe that things that will last require maintenance. There's no such thing as something you just buy and you're good forever. Like a good pair of shoes requires maintenance too. These bottles, people complain about how the mouthpiece will gum up, but they come completely apart and you can clean it.
You just throw it in your dishwasher.
Throw it in your
Are these
dishwasher.
people who never wash their water bottles?
I don't know, man. There's, like they don't wash
fuck's
it or
sake.
like for exactly.
Seriously though.
Wow, it can only hold 18 ounces now. Well, that's because the bottom is filled with
moldy.
mold, you disgusting jerk.
Exactly. There's 2 ounces. Well, if you look at my
Jesus.
bottles on my bike, you will just very faintly see an Audi logo from 6 years ago.
And they're podiums?
They're
Camelback
these
podiums.
bottles. They still have the exact same when you squeeze them.
Yeah.
They're great, and you can clean them out. I don't know.
Yeah.
They last. That's
Yeah.
that's why I picked them. Is because these will last if you
Those are-
take care of them.
Those are really nice water bottles. I used to have them. Mine did get moldy because I had them for a very long time. but-
They're old scratch ones, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I love them too because I actually am a big fan of the fact that I have other water bottles brands that it's the good old fashioned bite valve. You pull it open, you drink, you slam it closed or something like that. I love just being able to grab and not have another step in the process. Yes, that makes me a lazy human being, and that's your detail. That's what you're talking about. No, they're great bottles, man. They're really good. And I do have some bottles made by another manufacturer where I will be drinking out of them. And then, because I squeeze so hard because I'm dying of dehydration,
Comes out the side.
The valve shuts.
Yeah.
No.
I have that
And so I
sometimes,
have
too.
to pull the valve back out with my teeth to be able to blow air back into the bottle. And so I'm spending 5, 10, 15 seconds trying to get air back in the bottle so I can put it back in my water bottle cage.
That's a problem.
Camelback bottles don't do that.
Also, $12 in a race. If you lose this, that's not the biggest deal in the world. I mean, people will pay $20, $30 for a bottle. You don't want to lose that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I always think that we should have pack filler bottles. I need a beer sponsor to come on and co-sponsor a pack filler bottle. Because then, let's say, if you went to that specific vendor, you could get a post-ride beer fill in your water bottle or something like that.
That'd be a great idea.
So, David, your picks are adorable.
I think
They're
the next
great.
time I do it, we can name it Practical Pack Filler Picks with David.
Oh, with David?
Yeah, with David. 'Cause
We
mine
could
are
play this
special.
little-
You guys pick some really expensive stuff.
We could play like
I don't think mine's that expensive.
little children's music in the
Yes.
background.
Yes, I
Hi,
killed
I'm
it.
David. I want to show you some of my picks.
They're practical.
Today, the first pick
It's lobe.
is a stuffed unicorn to sleep with. Because
You
he's
can't
cuddly.
race well if you don't sleep well.
Sleep well with your cuddly unicorn.
God.
Only $9.99 at Amazon.
This has derailed.
Yeah.
Since it's derailed, we got to finish up with a
Pack
fit
filler,
tip.
yeah.
With a fit tip by the one and only Sam Waples, and courtesy of our friends at Ambassador Cycling. If you haven't, oh God, I got to finish game. I got a game. Shit, we got to hurry.
Okay, I can be quick. Write in your requests. Also, I'll just plug that. If you have any fit questions, like, hey, this hurts, just let me know because I might be able to answer that for you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
write it in. And
Meet
if you
Patrick
have,
at packfiller.com.
Yep, send them into Pat, and I will do my best to steer you in the right
That's
direction.
a great idea.
But my one right now that I've seen a few in the last week, everybody asked me like, are you able to do anything about a mountain bike? And yes, a mountain bike does a lot less for fitting because you move around on it so much. But saddle placement is super important, and a big one. If you feel like you have way too much weight in your hands, it's probably because you are too far forward because they are just designed for like going uphill, and it kind of pushes you forward.
That's why Paul and I have been putting our saddle noses up. Is that
rocks you back? It does do that too, right? Like that will unload you from the handlebars as well. But a lot of it is actually offset in the seat post, and a lot of the dropper posts that you find on modern mountain bikes are zero offset, so they just you're too far forward. So look into getting some of the 20 millimeter offset dropper posts that are out there. I think KS makes one.
Wow.
I think maybe P&W does. There's a few companies, but yeah.
Wow. You know what? I'm not going to play the game. The game it's another round of who's paying the bills, and you guys wouldn't have known who sponsors the Vuelta anyway, right? Right? You all thought there were banks.
It's, I don't know.
For example, Skoda.
Well, yeah, that's a car.
That's a car.
Yeah. El Pozo.
No clue.
I don't know that one.
That's food and meats. Finisher.
Sex company.
Kind of does sound like it. Is it a nutrition company?
It is a nutrition company,
Yeah.
but I wish they were a sex company. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So there we go. The Vuelta starts here soon. We all want to. None of us have anything much left in our glasses, but we all want to raise a proverbial glass as David sips his to the one and only Paul Main. Go fast, Godspeed. Keep the rubber side down, our friend. And hope you have a great weekend this weekend. And great stories to follow when Paul gets back from the Masters Nationals this weekend in Augusta, Georgia. Thanks, everybody. Be sure and subscribe to our podcast and to YouTube. Subscribe to us on your podcast provider and YouTube. It is free, and it does a lot for us in terms of making the podcast work and continue. Also, check out the updated website, our blogazine. I'm giving everybody a dirty look.
I've got 2.5 pages almost ready to go.
Nice! And our Patreon page. So yeah, I all I ask from you assholes is an article a month.
Okay.
One a month.
Okay.
One a month. 500 words.
Well, yeah, I've got more than 500.
Unless you're like Mao, Chairman Mao, who wrote like 10,000 words, and it is the most recent article posted on the blogzine about his adventure on the race, the Cross Washington race, and which was a really great read, and because I went over every single word because I'm the editor and I didn't have to edit him. So it was a great read. So be sure and check it out. Packfiller.com. We are giving you a reason to go there every single day. Gentlemen, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Does that sound you said after peeing?
Yes.
Nice. We'll catch you guys next week.